Oh, yeah, we have a great show for you tonight. You know it's coming to you. We have DJ Tatious. That's right. Woo! He's coming to us tonight on Angified. Make sure to go ahead, like, share, and subscribe to DJ Tatious at DJ Tatious on BandLab, Spotify, SoundCloud, and YouTube. Let's go ahead and welcome him tonight here on Angified. Hi, DJ Tatious.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going beautiful. I hope you're having a wonderful evening.
I am. It's been crazy, but I'm here now and I'm happy.
Yay! Well, we're going to have some fun and we're going to find out more about you. So, I need to ask because it looks like you have been going out and doing music for quite some time.
I mean, a little while.
Yeah, a little while.
A little
All
while.
right. Well, did your grandparents, like, were they musically inclined? Like, did your grandparents love music and you kind of grew up with that in your genes, or was it something that you just like fell into and just said, this is me?
I don't know if my grandparents were super musically inclined, but my mom was really into singer-songwriter stuff from the early mid 90s. And
Okay.
so we hung out when she was in college, and it was herself and me and my brother. We actually hung out with a lot of the indie musicians and went to little bookshop, coffee shop gigs.
Oh,
And
cool.
that's actually one of our indie musician friends named Sarah Hickman from Austin, Texas. That's the first album I was ever on as a secret track when I was like 7.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible to be working with someone at that age.
It was a love letter to her when we were getting ready to move to Seattle. It was just about how I would
Yeah.
miss her, and I recorded it on this really old, probably from the 80s cassette deck that had a built-in microphone. So the sound quality is horrible, and it's just 7-year-old me talking about what a great singer she is and how much I'll miss her. Um,
Oh,
and she decided to put it the hidden track on one of her albums called Two Kinds of Laughter, and it's on iTunes. It's
that's
Apple Music.
beautiful. That's beautiful. So she was like your inspiration, your mom.
Yeah, my mom is my inspiration for a lot, but definitely someone who exposed me to music.
Yeah.
She didn't do any kind of music. My dad was more the musician, but my mom exposed me to all the music that made me go, I like writing this stuff.
So you found more in the lyrics and the writing more than you did with the composing.
Yeah, yeah. I work a lot with, you've actually had Glass Garden on your show
Yes.
before. I work a lot with him. We've known each other for a long time, but he is more of a musician, actually, probably the ultimate musician. And
Yes.
I am more of what I would call a beat poet. It started
Okay.
with like poetry, moved to rapping, and then I was like, Owl City's pretty cool. I can do dream pop.
Yeah, yeah. Very cool. And so did you do anything like in high school with friends? Because I like you went from being 7 years old to like current, and
Yeah.
Matt's amazing.
How old do
Matt's
you think I
absolutely
am?
amazing. You've got to be maybe in your mid 20s.
Wow. Yes, thank you. I'm actually
Ah,
34. I'm 34, mid 30s.
wow. See
Yeah,
that? Music keeps you young.
it totally does. Totally does.
It frees your soul.
To answer your question, high school, I mean, middle school was a lot of choir and jazz choir. And then high school is when someone introduced me to Fallout Boy when I
Okay.
was working at a Hollywood video. Um,
Nice.
yeah. And I got introduced to Fallout Boy, which made me fall in love with all of like punk pop, punk
Yeah.
rock. My stepsister was really into like Blink 182 and Green Day.
Yeah.
And I think I survived 97 to 99 on like the Dookie album alone. So
Oh, yes, that one was awesome. We all looked
yeah,
for that hidden track on Dookie too.
right, right, right. But
So your poetry and your rapping, your poetry, did that change then when you like discovered like all this new like grunge and alternative and different spectrum of music?
totally, I think that's when I realized that in poetry, there's so much more than what I thought it was, and what I was actually doing when I wrote poetry was I was writing hooks.
Yeah.
Um, so I it turns out that I wasn't great at writing poetry. I was good at writing choruses, and so I heard these punk pop guys singing about how they can't stand their girlfriends anymore because they cheated on them and they miss their hometown. And I'm like, wait a second, this sounds a lot like late 90s country music, but with a better beat. I can get behind this.
Yeah.
And the older I get, the more I just love and appreciate the memories of 2008, that moment in time. I'm like, man, this is where they got it from. This is what these guys were writing about. And
Yeah.
so now Glass Garden, I just write punk pop summer songs.
And you guys are killing it. You guys are literally killing it. All the
Thank
band
you.
lab contests that you guys have been winning, like one after another, geniuses. Like you said, like with Matt Glass, he is probably like the ultimate musician,
He really is.
with all of his background and experience, and then with your writing and your imagination and creativity behind it. Because I'm sure you touch spectrums of music that he didn't,
I
especially
always,
when it comes to the poetry and the rap.
yeah, I will. You know, he is super emotional in his lyric writing, but I always tell Matt that we're like two pieces to that yin yang, right? He's
Yeah.
the yin and I'm the yang. He's got like this metal, the real emotional, angry, and that really shows. All of his music.
Yes.
He goes for this professional sound every time. It doesn't matter who he's working with. He's going to put his all into everything. And then I'm on the other side, and I'm like, look, all I want to do is make people feel happy. Like I don't have to speak Japanese to be
Right.
able to speak to someone with dream pop, make them feel like they're floating on the clouds, and just take someone's crappy day and turn it into a good day.
Exactly. I don't need to understand what you're saying to feel you.
Yep,
And you can hear that with the emotion, both that you put in your tracks and that he puts in his.
totally.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. So let me ask, who do you intend to inspire in the future?
So I have two little kiddos under the age of 10 running around my house, and I have a beautiful wife. And the moments that almost bring me to tears are when I'm running around my house and my son will run out of his room yelling the the chorus B section from my Star Wars track that I wrote.
Yes.
So he's just running around going, "Get steady, get ready, loaded chamber, pull the trigger." And I'm like, bro, you're going to school in a few days. You can't say that at school. They don't understand it's Star Wars, buddy.
Yes.
So they'll run around the house singing my songs. Dad, play the song you wrote about us. Play the song you wrote about mom.
That's
And so
beautiful.
that's who I want to inspire.
That's awesome. I had to ask that question because I have taken notice that you also intend to inspire musicians out there with their ideas and kind of open up their minds. Yeah, we have a track that we're going to be playing in a little bit that I seen you put a post up the other day. You want to hear some of the renditions and things that people did with your piece.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, good catch.
is there a specific audience that you're, or, musician out there that maybe you've seen yourself as being that you hope to like inspire to say, hey, this is where you can be, or, with when you do that stuff?
Yeah, that's a really good question. Um, the post you're talking about is just we can talk more about it, but this song came to my mind, and it was wholly inspired by, there's a band called Go Periscope from Seattle, and they're not super huge, but I invested so much into listening to their music and this vibe and this style they put off. And then you couple that with Owl City's like real smooth vibes, and then you add in Echo Smith and their verbiness, and it's like being in a trance, driving in a freeway at 2 a.m. in Seattle, and the streetlights are just, and the music is just keeping you moving. But inspiring artists is, I'm by no means a phenomenal vocalist, a phenomenal writer, a phenomenal composer, arranger. Like I'm okay, but I'm by no means phenomenal. I want everyone to know that like you can make music, and if you have something or some things that you lack, there are others out there who make the pieces to that puzzle complete. You know, without Glass Garden, I wouldn't be able to put half the things I put in circulation, or without Gramo, I wouldn't be able to put half the dream pop I put in circulation.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Yeah. Yes, I do investigations. So you have to tell me about this song, Brick by Brick, Tear Down the Walls.
Yeah, Brick by Brick is the first BandLab contest I ever won. Coincidentally, it's the first contest I ever entered. So I'm wondering, Glass Garden won his first one. Maybe I don't know. I see you, BandLab, but it's like an addiction. You get that first win and then you're hooked. But Brick by Brick is a song that I did in collaboration with a lab coat named Teddy Bearosaurus. And he used to be in the music industry and now just kind of does his own thing for placement stuff. But I came to him with this idea. Guitar Bart on BandLab won the contest the month prior, which became BandLab's piece for other BandLabbers or lab coats to use. And so I took this idea to Teddy Bearosaurus and I said, I want to scream and I want to talk to people about my faith in God, but not in a way that says, hey, I don't like you if you don't believe what I believe, but more like, hey, the reason I believe what I believe is because I'm the worst sinner. I'm the one who's out here on the street going, you know, being two-faced, and I need to repent of that. And so it's the frustration I have every time I do something that I know I shouldn't, and I just need to come to terms with that. And I just need to, and just like scream. And so that's what Brick by Brick is all about. It's this course A and B of just yelling and screaming, followed by this pissed. I'm pissed. I'm pissed. I'm pissed. Oh no, I lost you, Angie. I can't hear your audio.
Here I am.
Oh, there you are.
I said, it is very frustrating, you know, when you have something and it's almost like you go back to the story where Jesus was betrayed, you know, and it's every single time, and that frustration, you know, and how, you know, he sat there before and he said, you're going to betray me. You're going to 3 times, and no way, I'm not going to. And that frustration builds up because nowadays you have to be careful. You know, people don't like being open and talking about religion. People get offended because their beliefs aren't the same. You know, so you kind of have to come to terms and say, I have to accept you for you and who you are and what you believe. And, you know, have that bigger heart that Jesus would have when it comes to saying, I forgive you. We're still going to be friends, even if you believe something completely different, if you don't believe anything, you know, and we'll see, because along those journeys, he shows us magic. He shows us our paths.
There's this awesome adage called love the sinner, hate the sin. And that's one of the things that I do my best to work on and work with. So, yeah. So that's Brick by Brick.
Well, let's go ahead. Let's give a listen to it, shall we?
Okay.
All right. This is Brick by Brick, tearing down the walls. And at Teddy Bearosaurus. I hope I said that right. Here we go. In the description, it says, there is no limit. Acknowledge your value and recognize. Asking for help isn't weakness. Let at Teddy Bearosaurus and I break it down for you in this battle cry. Fork this now, the Academy Rap Hip Hop Academy Radio Trendsetter Vocalist Hot Beats. Here we go with Brick by Brick.
Tear down the wake up and sing yourself with the power on display. Tear down the embrace the need for help and break by break you build. Tear down the wake up and sing yourself with the power on display. Tear down the embrace the need for help and break by break you build your way. I can't afford to wait another day. Tear down this camera, soon this light here comes up to the other side. I can't afford to wait another day. You wanna do this? Let's go. Reflecting the light isn't easy. A flower with withering petals not beating. There's nowhere to hide. They see me. I'm walking around on these streets deceiving. My words are so seething. Look over there. It's my actions retreating. I feel my heart beating. So why do I feel like I died? Oh yeah, it's my pride. Tear down the wake up and sing yourself with the power on display. Tear down the embrace the need for help and break by break you build. Tear down the wake up and sing yourself with the power on display. Tear down the embrace the need for help and break by break you build your way. I can't afford to wait another day. Tear down this camera, soon this light here comes up to the other side. I can't afford to wait another day. You wanna do this? Let's go. DJ Tatious bringing the flow. Simple incitement of rage to define it. Just get in my face and then scream like you mean it. Just scream like you mean it. It's worth it. I mean, if you work, then it's worth every beat, never cleaner. Retaining the anger as fuel is a dangerous weapon. I bet when you teaching that lesson, you think that you're making them think that they less than, but blinking, it's flipping the script. Cause that scrub that you hit with your fist was an angry reflection. Let go of your stress. You are blessed beyond measure. Created a treasure. So sever your selfish ambition and keep moving forward. Accomplish the mission. Cement your position. Repent and release all the hate. It is finished. Don't wait. Tear down the wake up and sing yourself with the power on display. Tear down the embrace the need for help and break by break you build your way. Tear down the wake up and sing yourself with the power on display. Tear down the embrace the need for help and break by break you build your way. Wake up and sing yourself with the power on display. Embrace the need for help and break by break you build your way. Wake up and sing yourself with the power on display. Embrace the need for help and break by break you build your way.
Wow. That was absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
Brick by brick, like I was blown away.
Thank you.
You didn't just tear it down, you blew me away. Absolutely incredible. Make sure you guys, you go out and like, share, and subscribe to DJ Tatious. You know what to do. Oh, this is great. I'm loving this.
I love music, so I if I had all day, I would talk about it all day.
Where did you get the inspiration? Well, I just asked that, didn't I? Where you got the inspiration for that piece and the collaborator.
Yeah, Teddy.
How did you connect that one? Because that's a tough topic.
Yeah, I think in music specifically, we tend to feel a lot more than we think. And so asking Teddy for help on that was not hard at all, because at the end of the day, we both speak music on that piece. So our belief system might not completely line up, but he heard something there, and he was like, I can work with this. And he could connect to the feelings. And I'll be completely honest with you, if a little bit of my theology and mentality rather happens to slip in when you hear it, that's okay. I mean,
yeah, that's you.
Yeah,
that's beautiful.
Thank you.
Don't ever stop being you.
I'm gonna do my best.
Good. And if you need help, believe me, I can help. I'll kick you into butt. I'll tell you, go look at your beautiful wife and kids. And if that doesn't give you a good enough reason, you know it.
I know it.
All right. So we were talking about this song a little bit earlier with that post. My heart was awake, and so was the interstate.
Yes, I'm in love with this song. Like, at the end of the day, this is my favorite thing that I've ever written. I was absolutely heartbroken when not only did it not win, it didn't place. But this song just encompasses everything I liked about Seattle, which was not much before I moved down to Texas. And this song is my most listened to artist last year on Spotify was Echo Smith. And they have a very specific EP with a song called Get Into My Car. That's just this really dreamy, verby. And I was like, man, I hear something, but I hear it in Go Periscope's voice. And so as a writer, I brought those two things and I was like, we need strings, we need reverb, we need synths, and we need a hook that just says la da 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 da.
I love it that not only does your brain tell you like with lyrics and how to phrase things in a character mode, because it sounds like you get into character mode when you write,
Totally.
but you also are seeing the colors of the instruments floating through it before it's even designed. That's beautiful.
Yeah, thankfully Glass Garden speaks that language, because sometimes
He
I'm
does.
like, I'm in like a, he's like, yeah, I got you. Yeah.
Yes, he totally does. Okay, so now do you have this piece forked on BandLab? Do you have it as forkable, or do you want people to reach out to contact you to say, maybe I have an idea to throw on this?
So this particular track, I don't believe it's forkable.
Okay.
However, I re-recorded the vocals.
Okay.
I'm a big believer in constant learning, right? So I'm always trying to get better. I re-recorded the vocals and created some a cappella stems.
Okay.
And so anyone who was serious about it, because anyone can fork something, but I'm actually going to be releasing an EP of the remixes, which we have, I want to say we have 6 or 7 tracks now by 4 different artists total, including myself. And I will invite them to the a cappella, at which point they can use the vocal stems as they please.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And there's spoiler alert, there are 2 completely different styles of EDM remixes. There is a punk rock reimagining of it. There is an acoustic style dreamy reimagine. And then there's Glass Garden's remix, which currently is only available on Spotify.
Correct. Yes. Oh, you're awesome.
Thank you.
You're awesome. That is a neat way to invite collaborators and the community to kind of, hey, just open up. Let me hear what you want to do, kind of doing it in a way that isn't so outspoken,
Well, and it creates community. They can't get away with going, I'm going to fork this and then leave it for nobody to ever hear. As artists, we tend to start things and not finish things because we're like, oh, piece of candy, right? But this way, they have to come to me and we have to start some kind of relationship that involves you taking something personal to me and making it personal to you. And at the end of the day, I want to know people who are willing to put themselves out there like that.
Oh, I love it. All right, let's go ahead. Let's check out this song and let's have some fun. You guys know what to do if you'd like to be interested in doing a collaboration with DJ Tatious. You hit him up. He will go ahead. He'll connect back with you. We're going to go ahead now and check out this song. Heart Was Awake and So Was the Interstate. It's quite simply a song that he loves the most. It keeps running around in his head and it's going to get stuck in yours as well. He wrote about driving through Seattle on I-5 in the middle of the night and being comforted by that. Those lights beaming down, as he said. The Glass Garden remix is live on Spotify, and there's an upcoming Reimagine EP featuring other lab coats giving their takes on it. The description of this song: night drive, #favorite things, mesmerized by the streetlights and letting the rhythm consume me. I am in love with this song. I hope you enjoy the latest DJ Tatious original for the Fabulous Fork Contest, pop electronic songwriter, producer. And away we go.
Headlights brighter than the sun, night drive, everything is running through my mind. The pieces in the panic, and I find they're playing our song. La da 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 da. I want to know you better. La da 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 da. Would you give me the pleasure? Da 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 da. Baby, it's now or never. Da 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 da. I want to know you better. I can't explain this feeling in my brain. I'm triggered by your name. I need to hear it all again. You know the sound, it consumes me. The room spins around me. This moment just found me. Close my eyes, let it drown me like da 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 da. La da 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 da. Da 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 da. I want to know you better. Da 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 da. Would you give me the pleasure? Da 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 da. Baby, it's now or never. Da 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 da. I want to know you better. Da 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 da. I want to know you better. Da 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 da. Would you give me the pleasure? Da da da. Baby, it's now or never. Because I want to know you better.
I know why that song, that hook is so stuck in your head. Da 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 da. Know
Totally.
you better. Yep. And I think it connects with everybody because I think everybody's been stuck in those lights.
I hope so. I got incredibly lucky. BandLab has this huge element of luck to it, and I got incredibly lucky. And I was just playing around with the album creator for the first time, and I decided, let me take all the things that I made that I can get behind from year one, and let me just put them all on an album. And I did, and I don't know, a month later, notifications started popping up, and I was like, what is going on? Well, it turns out it got featured right next to Broke Bugatti, and it was featured in pop for a long time. And so that song now has like 8,000 plays. And it's just, it's
8.12 thousand.
yeah. Yeah.
Incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Thank you.
Okay, you have to tell me about There's Love and Arson.
Yes. Love and Arson is so cool because it's a dream come true. There is a song I have not released yet that if Glass Garden watches this, he knows eventually I will give up on the instrumentation myself and come to him. But in the meantime, Love and Arson is kind of the realization of what I was trying to do when I decided to seriously create something back in 2020. I tried to create something myself. I wasn't happy with it because I know music from a hearing perspective, but I don't know music from a producing perspective, or didn't. And so I couldn't make it come alive. And so I signed up for a class. My beautiful wife that you mentioned was very generous and was like, why don't you take this money and sign up for Ryan Tedder's songwriting class? Ryan Tedder's the lead singer of One Republic, and he wrote like every song in the world, including things like Halo by Beyonce. And so I signed up for that class, and there were 3 projects that you had to turn in throughout the class. And Love and Arson became the third one. I called up Glass Guard and I said, hey, let's do this one together. Like, I think I want to release something to Spotify that is something that I am part of the whole process on. Teddy Bearsaurus kind of took my vocals and just was like, here you go, bud. Whereas Glass Garden was like, yeah, we can do that. So we met in his garage, which is where he mentioned he does all his recording. Mm-hmm. And we sat there and we're just like, what does a love letter to summers of 2008 sound like? What does that even sound like to us? And I'm like, well, it has to be kind of fluttery and acoustic-y, but not just acoustic yet. And we have to write about like how everything's always more intense in the summer, just because it is, right? There's no school. There's fewer responsibilities back in 2000.
People sweat more because it gets hot.
Boom. Perfect. You have to give up on not sweating. There you go. Right. But yeah, so he was like, this is it, man. What are we going to call it? And I said, we're going to do a Fall Out Boy song name. And he goes, no, I'm not going to let you do that. And I said, you don't have a choice. And so we went through some variations, and ultimately I sent him this and I was like, I'm not budging, Matt. And it became There's Love and There's Arson, and sometimes there's both.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to go ahead. We're going to check out this song now. I also did notice that you had the video on YouTube for this one. So I did grab that video as well, because you all need to go and like, share, subscribe to him on YouTube, on Spotify, on BandLab. Get out there now.
More YouTube content coming in the future. Like I mentioned previously before the show, I'm building my house down in Texas, and it's supposed to be done October-ish. And I'm actually building a 5x10 small music studio space into it. And that's when we're going to start putting up more of the YouTube content.
Haha. And then you guys have to wait for his EP. I'm getting teased right now.
Lots of good
wait
stuff.
till 2023.
Lots of good stuff in the pipeline, including more with Glass Garden.
Yeah. Awesome. We're going to go ahead. We're going to share this song now. There's love and there's arson, and sometimes there's both. Make sure you go ahead, like, share, and subscribe. It is on BandLab here. If I could write a love letter to 2008 and everything it means to me, this song would be signed, sealed, and delivered. A complete collaboration between @Glass Garden and myself. Enjoy. Punk, pop, acoustic love song, BandLab songwriter. Here we go. Yay.
Oh, you tease me with that smile. You only live once. Those tan lines are calling my name, and the water was glistening. Let's pretend we're kids again. Never think twice. Killing time like it was revenge, but the time is what did us in. The laughs we shared and how we stared into the sun like we didn't care. You hold the key to a memory of perfect peace, and we'll light it on fire like a sunset skyline. I'm game if you are game. The nights were just as warm when I held you close, and I couldn't contain my stupid grin. It was the perfect storm. It felt like time slowed down while my fingers traced your skin. The laughs we shared and how we stared into the sun like we didn't care. You hold the key to a memory of perfect peace, and we'll light it on fire like a sunset skyline. like we didn't care. You hold the key to a memory, a perfect peace, and we'll light it on fire like a sunset skyline. I'm game if you are game. I'm game if you are game.
I'm game. That was awesome. Those harmonies, like, oh, it was great. How, like, that was just beautiful.
Thank you. That's what you get when Glass Garden and I are pulling at each other. He is, as you mentioned, he is a pro, as you all mentioned, he's a pro. And at the end of the day, as a pro, he has things inside his head and he's like, this has to happen this way. And then I come in as someone who's not quite a pro, which lets me bring things that maybe aren't by the books. And he goes, you know what? I think we could do that. and then as a pro, he finds out how to implement them correctly. Right. So he'll be like, hey, dial back, DJ. And I'm like, I can't do it. He's like, you need a few more syllables off, DJ. No, I need all the syllables.
Yes. And as a writer, I feel your pain on that. Those syllables matter.
Yeah. Uncomfortable cuts are always necessary. I'm planning on doing a series that I started.
And that's a trick to hooks.
Yes. Oh, 100%.
With the syllables and hooks. That is totally, because everybody tries to get it. And it's funny because they might be able to sing it with you, but when they try to do it by themselves, they're like, wait a minute. Like, that's the hook line right there. That's that extra syllable that like was placed in so perfectly that you just have to hit just right.
Yep. 100%.
I love looking for those in songs.
I agree.
It's exciting. Okay, so you have to tell me about the song On Purpose and On Mission, because this one's all you, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Weird to think about it that way. I have this hashtag that I use all the time called collaboration is key. And I totally believe that. But at the end of the day, BandLab ran a contest back in November of 21, I think. And it was Loopify, where you had to use BandLab's looper packs. Yeah. And I was like, okay, well, I don't have to play any instruments. I know what sounds good. I just might not know how to bring it from here to here on an instrument. So I went into their loop packs and I was like, what can I do that maybe it's contrasting? What would not feel normal when you read the titles, but would work? And so I went with a pack that I have loved ever since I started BandLab that was called like Anthem Rock or something, because it's super verby and arena rock sound. And then I clashed that with a pack called Country Twang for a little bit of that character and texture. And this song is kind of like the evolution of Brick by Brick. If Brick by Brick is me just being ticked off that I can't get this, then On Purpose and On Mission is me going, God, I can't actually do this without you. So I'm going to step back because I am clearly not capable. And I am just going to pray for the miracle. And, those are the moments when God comes through, is when you put aside yourself and put him in front. So
that's right.
And then my wife is actually hidden in these vocals.
Oh, she included, yay.
But she's hidden back there. Her voice is so perfect for this auto-tuning texture that you have in the second verse. And unless you're really listening for it, you probably won't be able to hear it. But without it, it would be nothing.
Oh, that's awesome. A lot of times spouses and other halves have a problem because it's almost like we're married to the music at different times. And it can be very, it can be very struggling, especially considering like, it's not like we do it on purpose. Time just slips away.
Yep.
Music heals, it's our therapy, and it allows us to express ourselves. So you're on a mission and a purpose. Let's go ahead. Let's check this out.
Okay.
All right. Yay. Make sure you check today on BandLab. This is his second contest win on BandLab. Came from the track created entirely using BandLab loops on mobile, not PC, and some sprinkled in automation on BandLab for PC. BandLab Loopify contest got me writing new originals. I used the Stadium Rock X, Country Twang X, I can never pronounce this word, numeric packs to create the track for this one. I love uplifting music, creating more trending new rock, create mobile masterpiece. It is so awesome to be able to create things. And thank you, BandLab, for allowing us to go ahead and use your loops and be able to create something completely magical. Here we go with On Purpose and On Mission.
There were days I was drawing on my last breath. You couldn't see it in my face. Took all my energy to hide it. Grasping for control while I'm tripping on my next step. But when I give it all away, I will never be the same again.
I love it. I love how you brought your religion and your faith into that one as well.
Thank you.
You know, we don't hear enough of that good stuff nowadays.
Hey, I am wholeheartedly believe that bands like Skillet are doing some really heavy lifting, because there are a lot of people out there who are like, well, Christian music is just terrible. And I'm like, but wait, it isn't though. I mean,
that's right. It's not. It's what we make it. You know, like I know you said you were horrible with like 80s movies and things like that. Do you remember the movie Sister Act?
I
Whoopi
do.
Goldberg. Okay.
But Sister Act 2 is probably more my jam, because there's a moment at the end where this kid hits this phenomenal run. And I'm like, ooh, yeah.
Yeah. And in that movie, that actually pushed more people to just be kind, to start singing. After Sister Act came out, there were more people that like actually start singing, and you've seen more churches fill up with guitars and more choirs, and they all tried to almost like emulate that.
Yeah.
Faith was starting to shine through again. And I think that's the biggest piece that we're all missing is faith.
It's a good thing to have.
It is. It is. And it's beautiful that you are letting it out and letting it be heard.
Thank you.
Yes. 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 Okay. So now I have to ask about this last piece that I have here for you, Chasing the Sun. This is you and Grandma, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Grandma and I have done so many songs together now on BandLab. Grandma is probably the single most positive and encouraging person on BandLab that I've met, in the sense that he will not only be positive and encouraging, but if he sees that you have a new track out, he's going to take the time to sit through that entire track. And then at the end of it, because on PC, pro tip, people know when you comment. They have a timestamp. So if you comment on my track at 20 seconds, I'm going to be less flattered than when you comment at the end. But Grandma will always listen to the whole thing. And then he gives you this just genuine feedback of the particular things he likes about your track. And I'm just always like, dude, I'm blown away by not only the time that takes, but the generosity. And I have this saying that if generosity isn't sacrificial, is it really generous? And so he's sacrificing his time. And so he reached out to me and he's like, hey, you do dream pop. I have this beat. What do you think? And that became Standing Strong. And then we had a few more. Pro tip, Bright Side is one of my favorites. But this one specifically is kind of a precursor, because next Friday, this song actually drops on Spotify.
What?
So it's been on BandLab, and then it'll drop on Spotify next Friday. And it is a song all about how I just finished spending almost 6 months away from my family for this move down to Texas. And it makes me emotional to talk about it. But my wife and my kids were up in Seattle finishing out the school year. She's a teacher. They were in school. And I had to start working, because to buy a house, you have to be employed. And so I transferred down here and started working, and was just alone and flew back and forth so often. And there are more songs about it, but definitely this song is all about me being sad, but also like, don't cry. I'm on my way. I got you.
Yeah. Just a matter of time. I will be there soon. Whitney Houston actually got me with one of her songs when my kids were little. I know I'm away for right now, but it's not going to be forever.
Yep.
And I'm sure your wife absolutely loved, even though you weren't there, hearing all these beautiful songs that you wrote for her and sang, and probably cried to her as well, because that was probably difficult for both of you.
Yeah, definitely hard.
Aw. Let me ask, where do you see yourself going in the future?
I just want to keep learning.
Now you're down in Texas. That's never going to stop. You're going to always keep learning, even when we're old and 150 years old. But like, where do you see your music going in the future? Do you see maybe your kids turning, 10, 11, or 7, like you, like when you were and you first did that love song? Do you see them going ahead and saying, we're going to be a family band one day, or do you say, what, like, do you have a son and a daughter?
Yeah. You
got the best of both worlds. So maybe your son says, what, I'm picking up those drums, and your daughter says, well, I'm going to play my guitar because I can make mine louder than yours.
Flip it and you got it on the nose. My daughter wants to be the drummer.
Yeah. Look at that. So you are going to have a family band. That's awesome.
How cool would that be?
Right. And your wife is singing it too. So to get her out, and be able to share that with her is truly a gift.
I agree.
Yeah. So let's go ahead. Let's chase the sun into the future with learning, growing, evolving.
Yep, we don't ever stop learning, and in the future, my music's just gonna hopefully get closer to the sound of Owl City.
And watching your little flowers bloom.
I agree.
Beautiful. Let's go ahead and check out Chasing the Sun. This is available now on BandLab. Coming to streaming platforms August 19th. A project with @Gramo, one of many, that talks about my recent time away from my family. In the description, it says, check out our That's a Bop BandLab contest entry, turning pain and loneliness into hope and resolve. @Gramo brought fire to this original song. We are here to create more new dream pop, electronic, trending music and vibe. Let's go ahead and listen to Chasing the Sun. Yay!
We said goodbye the night before. Now it's 3 a.m. and I'm out the door with a longing glance at what's behind. In front of me is a lengthy drive. Prayerfully, we agree to leave the mountains and the trees for a better life and an open sky. I'll pave the way for family. Don't cry, I'm on my way. I'll never stop chasing the sun till I find that place leading me to your arms, into your heart. I fell so hard and tripped over all my words. It's where all of my favorite bruises occur. They're proof of the hard work on my
That was absolutely beautiful. I know, like she felt that when you sang that to her.
I hope so.
She too. She had to. Because when you miss somebody and love somebody that much, those words you feel. And I know she felt them because I felt them coming from you. You are amazing in expressing your emotion and putting together all of your great lyrics and words into all these awesome beats. And the
Thank you.
inspiration to go ahead and grab beats like a little bit from here and a little bit from here and a little bit from here and toss it in a blender and say, voila, here is your new breakfast with a rose.
Exactly. And so much more on the way with artists that you haven't heard me collaborate with yet. So
Woohoo! I can't wait. This is going to be so much fun. I can't wait to see what you come out with in the future. It is going to be absolutely amazing. Make sure everyone you go like, share, and subscribe to DJ Tatious. He is Tatious. And thanks again for tuning in. Make sure you check out Spotify on Friday for that release. I thank you again for tuning in here, and you all have a wonderful evening. Bye.
I'm gonna spread love or hate. I'm gonna spread love or hate. I'm gonna spread love or hate.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am here to tell you, yes, we have an exclusive interview, a very special interview with the one, the only, the winner of our Pop to Metal contest. You know who I'm talking about. Yes, that's right. This gentleman, he is a 30-year-old father of two. He's a fiance to his best friend. He loves the hardcore scene, loves music, meaningful lyrics, would love to collaborate with others, loves learning new things, rock, metal. He's inspired by Throwdown, 18th Visions, Bleeding Through, Stick to Your Guns, No Bragging Rights. It is the one, the only, James. Yes! James Finona.
Okay.
Hi, James.
Hi.
It is so great to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Oh my gosh.
Oh, it is so exciting. You won that Pop to Metal contest with that song Toxic by Britney Spears. That was an amazing job. And since then, I've been like, man, where did you even come up with that? But before I even get to that, I have to ask another question. Where did you come from? Like, how did these beautiful vocals, like, get inbred into you?
Well, it started about 5 years ago. I don't know what I'm doing when it comes to doing vocals. So I downloaded the karaoke app Mule to sing a song for my at the time girlfriend Angie. So I actually ended up doing a cover of As I Lay Dying Forever. And again, not knowing what I was doing, I played it for her at dinner, and she said, "Hey, that's pretty good." And it took me back, and I was like, "Whoa, like really?" And she said, "Yeah, you should keep going." And so I thought, okay. And then so I kept doing more songs, and by the time of my Steel run, I think I was in the thousands of songs that I've done as far as covers and stuff.
That's incredible.
So I just loved it. As soon as I got a hold of doing vocals and collabing with people and then getting feedback and what I can do better, and it just became infectious, and I was like, I need more of it. And I found BandLab, and I've been here for I think 2 years, 3 years now, I think. So, yeah.
Oh my goodness, I am like blown away. Like you've had no training. You're like, I have no idea what I'm doing, but you're such a natural. Did anybody
Thank you.
did you have like friends or family or anybody that kind of inspired you on that?
Well, growing up in the hardcore scene, I've always watched bands, and our local venue, Chain Reaction, they allow you to go on stage and sing with the singer and everything, and I would do that every time I got a chance. And then so from that on, I was like, man, I want to do that, but I didn't know how. So I just one day I did that cover, and then I heard, hey, keep going, and I was like, okay. So I kept going. No training. I didn't watch any YouTube videos. I just figured, just do it, and if it sounds okay, then just roll with it. If it doesn't, then I should probably stop. But I've been doing it for about 5 years, almost 6 years now.
Well, I have to say, I love Angie. Thank you, Angie. I love you. Because if it wasn't for her, you might not have continued.
Yeah, there's been a lot of moments where I just felt, hey, I wasn't going anywhere with this, and I wanted to give up so many times. But there've been a handful of people that kept me in the game. Obviously, Angie, my best friend Tyler, Johnny Maltos. I don't know if Moto Brooks. By the way, check out his band, KillingTrees.tx on Instagram. They're amazing. But they all kept me in. My best friend Caitlin, they said, hey, you are. I hate talking about myself, so it's kind of weird for me. But they all said, hey, you're too good to stop. And then I was having a conversation with Angie, and I was telling her, man, the thing I want to do with music is inspire others. And she told me, how are you going to do that if you stop? And from there, that's my goal now. So I haven't stopped. I mean, whether I'm doing vocals at 2 o'clock in the morning in my car in a parking lot, or whatever it takes to get some kind of message out there to help others.
Did you ever, when you were trying to teach yourself how to do things, hurt your voice?
The first couple times, yes, because I would just yell instead of actually trying to get it out correctly. So when it started hurting, that's when I started looking at YouTube videos. Okay, how are people doing this? And I watched a few, and then from there, just okay, so do it right, and you should be fine. And ever since, I haven't had any injuries, or I haven't.
You've been a powerhouse ever since. Definitely on fire and a force to be reckoned with.
Thank you.
I think a lot of us found BandLab about 2-3 years ago when kind of COVID kind of hit. We were all of us artists and musicians were looking for that outlet. Mm-hmm. When you came to BandLab, like when you actually realized, dude, I have a little studio on my phone. Like, and I can collaborate with people from like all over the world. Like, what was that like for you?
That was what attracted me to Smule, is being able to sing with others and build that bond and camaraderie, and I got on BandLab just to do covers, but then I found out, like, there's a community here. There's a bunch of people that first of all, we're all musicians, so you can't get that like on Facebook or Instagram unless you're talking to musicians. But here, everyone's a musician, so everyone's just here to build each other up, because they know the struggles. They know, hey, we need to all move together in order for everyone to win. And that's why I fell in love with the community, the metal community here. Everyone's just so loving and caring and just willing to listen and provide the feedback and
support. Support, that's the biggest thing, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Especially for artists, when you're putting stuff out there, and your friends and family won't even give you the time of day. But hey, I have this community, this family on BandLab that will listen in a heartbeat, and it's the best thing ever.
I love it. I love it. And you are just like, you're just amazing.
Oh,
You know, the tracks that the tracks that we're gonna listen to tonight. I'm sorry, I sneak peeked because I had to.
Thank you. But thank you for giving them the time of day, honestly.
Absolutely, anytime. I'm always I love music. I love all genres. You know, sometimes we hear music, and I think especially with metal, it is because I love metal, and I
Hmm.
think it is hard for some people to understand
Hmm.
that genre. And it's so funny yet because us artists that love that metal, we all understand, and it's like, how do we make others understand and feel it
Hmm.
too? Because that's what it is. That's it's emotion.
It definitely, I
There's
think the biggest part is the message, you
yes.
know, and that's why when I write lyrics, I make sure, is this easy to understand? Is this more importantly relatable? Um, every single song I talk about my depression. I talk about, oh geez, I talk about the horrible person I was to Angie. You know, I did some bad things. I cheated on her, and I bring that into songs. I have a song called "The Divide." It's a real life story of when I was that guy transforming into who I am now, in hopes of someone who's thinking about that or going through that, and they can hear it and they think, man, do I really want to end up like that? And in the end of the song, I express that, you know, my want, well, not my want, my quote need for attention elsewhere has dampened and ruined the attention of the one that's going to love me no matter what. And again, that's hoping someone would hear that and say, okay, maybe I need to pump the brakes on what I'm doing and really think about who this is affecting. And
That's right.
yeah, context and lyrics to everything. So that's what I think. When people hear it, they get connected. Okay, this metal thing, I'm into it now, and then they can hear other artists who are who inspire us and get the ball going and welcome to the community.
That's right. I love it. Well, if you guys need a survival guide, you can definitely check out The Divide. You can go ahead. You can find James on BandLab. Obviously, he says he has a Shmuel account. I believe we have those in here as well. But you guys can go ahead. You can find James on BandLab. You can find him on Spotify, Instagram, YouTube. Yes. We are not letting James out of our sight, just so you guys know, okay? James, you have a song that you did called The Cell.
Yes, yes,
Did you write that one too?
yes. I did. Yes.
What age did you start writing? Did you
Oh,
because you had to start writing way before you got
I was
into
in
music.
second grade, and we did a poetry contest. It was all the schools in the district when I grew up in Garden Grove, here in California, and I wrote something like, "I see a bee looking at me inside of a tree," or something like that, and I won the contest unknowingly. I had no idea.
Oh,
And then in high school, as you know, teenagers, we go through the anger and the depression and all that, and I just started getting into music. And my parents divorced, so I had that bottled inside. I was also taking care of my two brothers at a young age, so I had that inside, and turning to music and feeling the lyrics and the vocals from the singers, and I started writing, and I haven't stopped ever since. I have notebooks and notebooks of lyrics that aren't even songs yet, but I do, when I do originals, I make sure that I write them, again, to be relatable, because I want the message to be received from by myself, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, you want to make that connection.
Mm-hmm.
You want your
So,
story to be left behind for somebody else's survival guide, somebody to be
mhm,
influenced and listen, you know, I've gone through all of this too.
mhm.
You know, just keep on trucking.
And so when Iceman approached me with the song, he said, "Hey, do you want to do the vocals for the song?" And I heard it, and I thought, cell 13. Okay, so you're in a cell block. That's kind of like your mind. And each negative thought is like a prisoner in that cell. This ways to get out. And then, you know, we deal with those conversations of, I'm not good enough. But then we have the other ones that are like, you know what? Yes, I am, or I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing right now. So that's the idea of the whole song, is that battle, a conversation between a negative and a, you know, the reassuring voice in your head.
Yes. We're going to go ahead. We're going to listen to The Cell. I'm so excited to share these, James. You're amazing. Thank you so much again.
Oh, thank you.
Let's do this. Let's make sure you guys go ahead, like, share, and subscribe to James. Okay? I'm not playing. X James Z with a Z X on BandLab. Also on Instagram. Instagram.com/X James with a Z X. Oh, nope, you don't have that there. I screwed up. Blah, 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 blah. Instagram.com/X James with a Z _ sings SINGZX. There's the X. YouTube, you can check them out there. We're going to go ahead and also post all of these links in the description, so you guys don't have to worry about writing them down. They'll be free there for you to just tap and go. Yes, let's do this. Here comes James and The Cell. This is with Planet Paradox at Planet Paradox and Iceman 714. So you can find them both on BandLab. And this song, the description says, some sick West Coast hashtag metal with X James X crushing it on vocals, and at Planet Paradox pounding bass, yes, into the pit. So crank it. Jason says it better, but soon to be trending, you know it. This is fire. We're gonna go ahead and check out The Cell with X James. Here we go.
I take a flamethrower to this place.
Oh, that was absolutely amazing, James. Oh.
It's all Iceman. It's all Iceman, and yeah, that was.
Yeah, but the emotion behind that you threw in there, because Planet Paradox and Iceman are absolutely amazing. I love them both. The emotion that's in it all combined was just so striking, so powerful. Thank you for sharing that.
Oh, absolutely.
It's hard for people to show emotion in their music and in their lyrics, especially when it's something so close.
Mm-hmm.
So I thank you, because that's not an easy task.
The weirdest thing is when I'm recording this, I really put myself like as if I'm one of those thoughts, and I've been beaten up so much in life to where I remember what it's like hearing those negative comments towards me, and I put myself in that position where like, no, I'm gonna fight back, and that's when it all comes out, and then I just let loose. So
it's absolutely awesome, and like I said, I love that, and maybe like that's what totally draws me into you and your music.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Oh my goodness. All right, you've got to tell me about the song Spirals.
So when, I don't mean to get political or anything, but as soon as I heard the decision,
you need to be heard and be original. We all have opinions, and that builds up on our chest in our daily lives. So no, like share.
Okay. So I was actually, I was working, and as soon as I heard the decision to overturn Roe v. Wade, I was livid. I was just so mad, and every post that you see on social media of all the women that are hurt by this decision, and it just put me in a spiral. So immediately I looked for an instrumental on YouTube, something with emotion, something that you can feel. And that day I just started writing, and I came up with this. I wrote it, I think it was in 10-15 minutes, and then recorded it that day as well. Within an hour I was done. It's just when I start feeling things, I can't help but jump on the microphone and just let loose, and this was one of those where I just really felt that I have a daughter, I have obviously a mom, I have cousins, I have females in my life, and I don't want them to be controlled by someone who doesn't know what it's like, who will never be in that position to be told you can't do this. You have to deal with any consequences of your actions, even if they're not even your fault. So I was just livid. So this is what came out. And hopefully it can be like an anthem for the generation that's currently fighting for their right to have control over their own bodies, and I stand by them.
Well, thank you for standing up for what you believe. And thank you for sharing that. And doing it in a good way. Mm-hmm. You're not causing violence or chaos. You're letting this out in a way to connect.
Yeah.
So I thank you for doing that. Like, don't ever stop that.
Thank you.
We're gonna go ahead. We're gonna listen to Spirals. You guys are in for a treat. You guys don't even know it. Make sure you go ahead. You pay attention. The description on this song says our country is quickly jumping backwards, not forwards. We made so many steps towards a better future for generations to come, but the evil cunts in power have erased all that effort and are forcing people to fight for things that we've already won. And that is a very big fact. So, all right, you fucking big cunts, let's go ahead. Listen to James. Here's Spiral.
Ladies, I don't stand up for you. You're strong enough to do that shit on your own. I stand with you. It's called Spirals. Let's go.
Fuck the fear is addicted to. Restrictions are money for someone you've never seen. Miscontrol, not about religion. There is no in between. Everything in this country is such a. That was my role. Although I don't identify as a woman, I identify as this cold hard fact. You 5-year-old pieces of shit. But I won't retreat. I am the one pissed off voice in a sea that's so much louder. We won't give in to you. We will not cower. We strip them of their freedoms. Now it's time for you to learn. For against the raging movement is the guaranteed burn. When you fight will come and stronger. When you shove will push back harder. You have no one to blame good. You started this fire. Although I don't identify as a woman, I identify as this cold hard fact. You 5-year-old pieces of shit. But I won't retreat. I am the one pissed off voice in a sea that's so much louder. We won't give in to you. We will not cower. And I cannot express this enough. You have no idea what you've fucking done. You're making them fight for what their ancestors. Already fucking blood. This generation will lead a revolution. A revolution like no one has ever seen. To give back what is theirs. And bring you to your knees.
Wow. That is a very powerful message.
Thank you.
Yes. You guys better go ahead and share that message out because he is right. That should be an anthem.
Sorry
Oh,
for the change of scenery. My kids can come home any minute now, so I don't want to have them running around.
I totally understand that. I like to play a game, especially like when it comes time when I know they're in bed and I want to lay down a track called Don't Wake the Kids.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, trying to go ahead like as quiet as you possibly can, but yet still being able to be loud enough so like you're not whispering doing it and hurting yourself in the same process.
Yeah.
Oh, James, you had gone ahead and I know like I actually really love this song, Gravedigger.
Mm.
Can you tell me about this?
It was I wrote it literally the day of the 4th of July incident. Just hearing all this stuff go on that, to be honest, nothing's being done about it. And hearing all of the shootings in schools of all places. Like my son, I fear every single day. I fear I'm gonna get a phone call every single day, and it's a place where they should feel safe, you know. And the teachers going to work, they shouldn't have to worry about that, and nothing's being done. So again, I took to YouTube to find the title and instrumental to use, than that. And again, this is out for feeling for victims, feeling the sorrow, the pain. I mean, obviously I haven't felt it firsthand, but I can't imagine what that's like. But yeah, that was the inspiration behind that.
I completely understand, you know, at the schools, you know, kids going to school, they shouldn't have to be afraid to go to school. You know, they shouldn't be afraid to be able to walk down the street to go to the park. They, you know, and nothing is being done. And the options that are being done is that let's add more guns. You know, it's not resolving issues. You know, no. And the sad part is that along with COVID as well became a lot of mental health. Society, you know, cut each other off. Everybody closed and locked their doors, neighbors stopped helping each other and saying good morning. Oh, they might have COVID, like everybody stopped helping each other. So, some of the people that are out there that, are leaning towards violence, give them an ear. Maybe that's all they need to help them to see that's not the right way.
Exactly. And
Yes.
I think one of the biggest things, like you said, give someone an ear, let them talk. We don't know what they're going through on a daily basis.
Yes. Well, I'm ready to hear Gold Digger. I've been so excited about this one. Share this one off, James.
If you need, yeah.
Yes. I'm excited. Are you ready?
Ready.
Let's do it. Yay! You all can go ahead and find James. Yes! On BandLab at xjames with a Z and then an X. You can find him on Spotify. You can find him on YouTube. Make sure you check him out. Also on Instagram. We're about to check out Gravedigger. Let's do it.
And we are coming on the air with breaking news for you. A horrific scene unfolding. This is just outside of Chicago. Authorities on the scene of a deadly shooting at a 4th of July parade in Highland Park, Illinois. At least 5 people shot and killed. Emotions remix his way downtown. One person second, then a third person down. Hatred starts to clear. His conscience comes through. From Jesus Christ, what the fuck did I do?
Fired a long gun outside on the street in a mass shooting headed.
He looks at his face from the red state crowd. Realizing what he did, then put the gun in his mouth. And there's no freedom we want. They all like blood and madness. Love for justice, when we're parented, and for the blood to scatter. You can't be born, the soul that feels it, and it's the passion. You don't care what you do. A sadness will go on, will hit this with the loud bomb.
...201 mass shootings in America this year, and unfortunately, still counting.
Oh my goodness, James. That was so touching. It was so touching. Wow. It's amazing how much violence is here in the United States alone. And that's just from 2022. We're going into 2023 now, and I'm hoping that we can make a change for tomorrow's future so our kids can once again feel safe to go to school, to play at the park, to not have to worry. We ask everyone to go ahead and be brothers and sisters. Look out for your neighbors, look out for each other, and be good to each other.
It's really heartbreaking knowing that this is going on to our kids, and no one gives a shit. No one cares.
Right.
It's as long as there's money in someone's pocket, that's all they care about.
It's another number.
Yeah, until it happens to their kid. And the sad part is, what if it does happen to their kid? What are you going to do? Are you going to pick the money, or are you going to pick, hey, let's actually do something? And it would suck that it would need to come to that instead of all these innocent people who are just victims of senseless acts with things that I don't think should be on the streets. But that's just me.
You're absolutely right. You're 100% right. And like I said, I mean, it's sad because it's happening to our kids. It's happening at the schools.
No parent should have to bury their kids. No parent should ever have to do that.
No.
I'm getting emotional thinking about it.
I know. Like I said, that was just, it was so touching, James. I love everything you do. I love your writing. I love your style. I am so thankful for Angie. Angie, I love you.
Thank you so much. I couldn't have done it without her. So.
Well, let me see. Since you were so brave, can you tell me about the song "The Brave"?
I wrote that after getting let go because of COVID, and just the uncertainty of what am I going to do? How am I going to bring money into the family? And one of my best friends, Simon Jones, he's doing the chorus and the ending screen. Very phenomenal. He has his own project called Common Immunity. I would definitely check him out. YouTube, Instagram, Common Immunity. We were just talking one day, and we figured what people need is, especially during the COVID times when people are at home, doing nothing, is they need something to listen to, some kind of reassurance. Like, hey, you're not alone. We all go through this. And I have a part in the song where it says, don't feel like you're in this all alone. My lights are always on and someone's always home. So it's that, hey, if you need an ear, I'm here. And I think, like you said, we need to be that for other people, an ear, And I think if we had an ear, if we had an ear to listen, I don't think that a majority of the problems that we have going on right now would be an issue.
I think you're absolutely 100% right. I think if we were there for each other and we listened instead of going ahead and causing the blame or tossing the blame on somebody else, but actually gone ahead and helped, I think that would have been absolutely amazing. We would have seen definitely a different today.
Absolutely.
Well, James, I have to say thank you for being so brave and for standing up and for putting this in your songwriting and for sharing your emotion and because I know when I listen to your songs, I feel it too.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Should we check out The Brave?
Let's do it. One of my favorites.
We're going to go ahead. We're going to play The Brave. You guys better be prepared. Here we go. The Brave. The description on The Brave is a song about guns and mass shootings. We have a real problem in the United States. How many lives have to be lost before we actually do something? What are you going to do to change that for tomorrow? Here we go. Check it out.
During this time when there's so much focus on our physical health, it's important not to forget about our mental health. With all the changes happening as we overcome this pandemic, it's easy to feel overwhelmed, anxious, and stressed.
of these feelings in mine. Papers in mine, haunting my night. The glacier is overcharged, more than you'll ever show. But I know so much is not me. There's a beginning that's beautiful. Red butterfly makes you too perfect, doing what to me. Nothing to think, nothing not do. See what we want to see. In this world that we live in, so easy to give in. The brains that waste this war, knowing it's worth fighting for. Your will be your weapon, what you need to carry on. And I will stand here with you to fight and sing your song. I understand us in the stars, and the feeling of not existing. I know this fucked up world is definitely not existing. But when there is darkness, there's always a glimmer of light. We're meant to look at from a side, but it'll get you through the night. In this world that we live in, so easy to give in. The brains that waste this war, knowing it's worth fighting for. Your will be your weapon, what you need to carry on. And I will stand here with you to fight and sing your song. Don't ever feel that you want in this world alone. My life's a wrong way to that. Someone's wrong with you. To your left, all your right, just call my name and I will join your fire. If no one is there, you're left on your right. Just call my name and I will join your fire. If no one is there, to your left, all your right, just call my name and I will join your fire. Just call my name and I will join your fight.
James, that should be an anthem. Like, it should be heard all around the world. We're gonna do that. We're gonna make sure that that gets heard all around the world.
My hopes again is just that the girl in the video, that was my best friend Caitlin, and we constantly have this conversation of how we're feeling and just being there for one another really helps. And I hope that this song could be that for someone. And I when I write, everything I write, I stand by. I do believe that like a butterfly, it takes years for us to really become the person we want to be. Or even with the glacier line, you know, glaciers are beautiful things, but we only see the tip top. We don't see the underneath. So we all suppress feelings and everything, but on the surface, we're trying to take a smile and whatnot. But you know, being depressed, having anxiety, you know, anything that's attacking you doesn't make you any less beautiful than the person who is faking it 24/7. That makes sense. So
it completely does. You know, I heard something earlier and says, "Who wants to be ordinary?"
Yeah.
You know, and with daily depression and anxiety, trauma, PTSD, bipolar, schizophrenia, ADHD, whatever, you know, it's hard, and it's sometimes you're like that bottle.
Yeah.
You're stuck in a bottle.
And I, again, with the with any other issue, I don't think those have been talked about much in society. You know, they're being overlooked as someone being crazy, or someone has something wrong with them. I mean, that goes with, hey, I'll give you an ear. You talk to me, and we can figure out how we can fight this together. And
right.
Unfortunately, we don't have that. And it's really sad how many people have taken their lives because they have no one.
That's right. Even in our military.
Yeah.
Our military, our soldiers, that is like at an all-high suicide rate today.
My
Why?
I had this best friend in middle school. He joined the military. I haven't heard from him since, so I hope he's okay. But I connected with him once after high school, and I asked him, "Hey, how's the military?" He said it was the worst decision he's ever made because he's not getting any help with whatever he has, and I hope he's okay. But we need to do more. Well, the people in charge need to do more to help with our day-to-day struggles.
But we also have to remember we are the people.
Yes.
And so we, the people, need to go ahead and give
Correct.
those ears. You see somebody walking down the street, just saying hi, giving him the smile. Sometimes that'll change a world.
Oh man, I for a living, I do Instacart and Grubhub. Every time I come up to a person at the register or, whatnot. How are you? Like, how's your day? How's everything going? Smile. Yeah. And you'd be surprised how many people think that's weird. And it's,
right?
It's,
like what did you put in your cereal this morning?
Right, yeah. I don't want anything. I just want you to know that, there are people out there who are interested in you, in your life, and what's going on.
Yes. I think too many people decided to judge.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And instead of us being we the people, it became we the media.
Oh, absolutely. 100%. 100%.
Can you tell me what Patriot is about?
Actually, that is one that my best friend Tyler and I came up with. We're both pretty progressive people, and we want to see the world in a better place. We both have kids, and we're actually working on a project called Now We Rise. The title emphasis on rise. We pushed for messages about standing up to what's wrong, or standing up to those who purposely cause harm to other people. That's where Now We Rise up and defend others who feel like they don't have a voice or are scared to speak up. And for us, when we wrote Patriot, what's going on right now and how divided we are, and to me, the word patriot has become such a disgusting word with what it's associated with, the hatred, and I just had enough. Him and I both had enough. We sat down and we started bouncing ideas back and forth, and we thought, okay, so what are the issues that patriots are attacking? They're attacking women's rights. They're attacking, immigrants. They're attacking people who lived here before us, indigenous people. So we went ahead and we said, okay, this is a FU to all those people who feel like it's their God-given right to harm, be judged, or tell someone they don't belong on a land that wasn't even ours to begin with. That's what Patriot is about.
And it's also sad because we live in the United States, and how many people don't even hang the United States flag anymore?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's just associated with something that I don't believe in anymore, and it sucks. It really does.
Yes. Well, let's go ahead. Let's listen to Patriot. And
By the way, happy birthday to Tyler. It's his birthday today. So,
happy birthday, Tyler!
Come out after, but happy birthday to Tyler. He is really, the music is all him. He does all the music, and I just happened to find, we found each other on Smule, and we started Now We Rise. Him saying, "Hey, I'll do the music. You come up with lyrics and do the screaming and all that, and then I'll chime in whenever I have spots." So when I say he is my Dr. Dre, that's 100% accurate, and he doesn't give himself enough credit for how brilliant the man is. But once you hear this song, you'll see this guy. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him musically, he's one of the ones that kept me going. He kept feeding me songs. He kept telling me, let's do this, let's do that. And that kept me going. So happy birthday, man. I love you. And you're amazing. Just know that.
You got to give him a heart now, James. Yay. All right, let's go ahead. Let's check out the Patriot. I'm so excited. I love everything. This is James Fiona. This is a song that him and Tyler are working on for Now We Rise. EP's trying to get some feedback. The song is about how absolute dog shit the word patriot has become. Let's rise up together, shall we? Let's become real patriots.
This war will be fought not on the frontier or on some distant battlefield, but amongst us.
Among our homes. Our children will learn of it in their own right. And the innocent will die with the rest of us.
How damn right, we're in this all together.
That was kick ass, James.
Side note, the end, those whoa, that's Tyler. That man's voice is, he's
Those
on
harmonies
BandLab.
were insane.
Oh, my goodness. He's on BandLab under Tyler Marino. Oh, man.
Okay.
That man can sing. Oh, I got goosebumps all over again.
The harmonies were just exquisite.
That man.
Oh.
And I see you writing down. If you want to hear another great voice, my best friend Caitlin, Mule.com slash Caitlin Nicole M as in Mary. Oh man, she is probably one of my favorite people to collab with as far as like a female singing voice, because it's just, I can't even put into words. Like, she does such good work. So if you guys are feeling inclined, check her out on Smule. All her pages, all of her songs. Oh, her covers are amazing. But yeah, Tyler is phenomenal and such a genius. I can't say enough good things about that man, but you'll see what I'm talking about. If you hear his songs, and
I'm already hearing it, James. Like those harmonies, like you guys gave me goosebumps. Like I said, and like it was just kick ass all the way around.
Mm-hmm.
Like yes.
We have
if you guys are not following,
mm-hmm. If you go on Spotify, you look up Now We Rise. We have 2 songs on there. One called oh my gosh, it's been a long time. Unite. That was actually written after the George Floyd death. We wrote that. It's kind of like a protest song. And oh man, I forgot the other one's name because it's been a while. But he sings on both of those, and I can't. But check him out. Tyler Marino. That's amazing.
I wrote that down. I'm going to. Thank you for sharing, James. I love music. Absolutely incredible. You sent me another one, and I'll tell you, like, I was amazed by this. And when you said, can we take one off and add this one? I'm like, no, we're adding this one too. Like, I'm sorry, I fell in love with the way that you go ahead and you express yourself and you send out those great messages and stories, and you do it through connecting through music. Mm-hmm. And I absolutely love that. And I am just still like blown away that you've had no training, that like you've only been doing this for 5 years. I love Angie. Another shout out to her.
Oh my goodness, she's amazing.
Okay, so you've got to tell me about Daybreakers.
So this was one of the first, like, I want to say originals. I say originals because it's not my instrumental, but one of the ones I wrote and did on BandLab. Daybreaker, I forget the name of it. I think it's Dreamwalkers, I think it's Dreamwalkers.
I'm sorry, Dreamwalkers. Why did I say Daybreaker?
I called it Daybreaker too for the longest time, so I looked it up.
Maybe, you know what? I got confused on that too when I was doing this, so I think they says Daywalker. But on your video it says Dreamwalker, so yeah, it's a day Dreamwalker.
Yeah, there you go. So it's again with the word anthem, but it's for the ones that have those dreams and get those negative comments, those negative things said to them, sometimes by the closest friends and family.
Yeah.
It's me being in their corner, giving them that push to keep going. And I think I say, like, as these words come from my throat to your ears, this is something I've chased down for years. And I'm putting myself in, like, their shoes. Like, I'm chasing after this goal. What do I need to do to get it? And that's me giving them that push. Like, go after it because you can. So that's like a love letter from me to everyone who's chasing their dreams.
I love that motivation. I love that. Oh my gosh. Oh. Okay, we've got to hear this. So obviously I got the name wrong. However, we're going to go ahead and we're going to fix that later on so that way we get the Daydream Walkers. So here we go. I was having fun with this one. This is Dreamwalker. It's an oldie, but I feel still good. Don't let anyone steal your dreams or your sunshine or you, because, you know, at the end of the day, believe in yourself. You fucking got this. Metalcore. Let's go ahead and check out Dreamwalkers.
When the hard times come, and they're going to come. When the disappointments and the rejections come, and they're going to come by the truckloads. Your reasons will be your rod and staff to comfort you, to pick you up. Once again, if life knocks you down, try and land on your back, because if you can look up, you can get up. You cannot have this. You cannot take this up.
Oh my gosh, James, like that was so powerful and motivation. I didn't want it to end. Seriously, like I could have listened to that like all night long.
That's the goal. That's the goal.
You are such an inspiration.
Oh my gosh, no, thank you. I draw inspiration from every single person that's still breathing. Every single person that's still breathing, because they're going through struggles, they're going through heartache, and they're still pushing on. So, you know, yourself, everyone, you know, we're here and we're still kicking. So that's
we are.
You guys are my inspiration. And if I had a quarter of the talent that the people on BandLab had, because I mean, all these artists, yourself included, you guys are just awesome, and to welcome me into the community, you know, I can't thank you guys enough. I've only been here for over 2 years, and
Thank you.
and
You
just
tickle
now,
our
like,
ears and our brains and our hearts.
I appreciate all of you. Thank you. Appreciate you for doing this, for putting this all together.
Oh,
The
well,
contest
thank
was
you.
a lot of
It's
fun.
an absolute honor to meet you. James, I have one other question for you before we close out this show.
Of course.
Let me ask, if you had one thing that you wanted to say out to the world to inspire maybe a child that was into doing metalcore, what would you say to them?
Don't give up. Don't ever give up. Don't ever bash your dreams. Don't ever let anyone bash your dreams. Keep them. Keep them so close to your heart, because the world needs you. As much as we put these celebrities on these posts and on these pillars, it's the regular people. The world needs us. And for you sitting there thinking, can I, should I? Yes, you can, and yes, you should, because you inspire me. You inspire me, and we love you. We love you. We need you. We need more people like you. So keep going. Never give up. And be yourself. Be authentic. Be real. There's too many fake people out there. Be yourself.
Be you, be heard, be original. No duplicate copies.
No.
James, you keep being you, because you are definitely a big inspiration. Like I said, your words, the emotion that's in all of the songs, like, they are totally captivating, and they do touch me, and I know they're going to touch others out there too. Your messages are not going unheard. They
Thank
will be
you.
somebody's survival guide.
Yeah.
You guys better go ahead, and you better make sure to go ahead, like, share, and subscribe to James. I'm not going to tell you again. I will literally whip you guys. Okay? You're going to go ahead. You're going to follow him on BandLab, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify. All right? That's what y'all are going to do. And we're going to share the love, because we only have one world, and tomorrow's not guaranteed. Get these messages heard.
My son took over my YouTube, so all his videos on there. If you guys go on my YouTube and see a bunch of videos of my son, he's really creative. I did a song with him. I did a song with him. He screamed on a track with me.
No way.
Yeah. It really warmed my heart that he wanted to do that. And I just was so proud that he. I'm getting choked up thinking about it.
I know you're gonna make me cry, because I have a 10-year-old daughter that sings with me.
He said, "Can I do a song with you?" And I was taken back. I was like, "Are you sure?" And he said, "Yeah." And I'll send you the link to it. But his screams are phenomenal. It's nuts. I mean, he doesn't want to do it anymore, but he's totally fine with me. But at least I got one song out of him. And
that's awesome.
I'll send you the link when we're done. But
he'll be metal one day.
All right. Yeah, he can do whatever he wants. He wants to be whoever he wants to be. I love him. So.
Oh, we love you, James, and you sound like an amazing dad, an amazing fiance, or a husband, I should say, because you're probably pretty close with best friends. That's more like a husband and wife forever. And, I'm going to continue to go ahead and follow you, because I don't want to miss a thing.
Thank you. I hope I can get some more stuff out soon. With my band coming out, we have working on some stuff, so I'll keep you posted as well. Super exciting
stay tuned, everyone. James got more for you. I can't wait. Yay!
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in, and follow James, and you won't be disappointed.
spread